Okay, I'd like to start the meeting at this time and want to thank everyone for coming and welcome each and every one of you. And as we start out this evening, if you would please do a silent roll call. And then I totally forgot to get a student. Oops. Is there a volunteer to lead the Pledge of Allegiance? It's a student. You only have to say 2 words. I pledge.
There he is right there.
Okay. What's the name? Cole Page. Okay, Lynn, please stand and join me in a moment of prayer, and then Mr. Page will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Yep. Father in heaven, we thank you for this opportunity to meet together to discuss the business of this district. I ask that you would be with each and every one of us as we keep our students first in our minds and what's best for them and for the employees of this district so that we can move forward in a way that gives the best that we can for our students. We ask that you would guide and direct and give us wisdom, and it's in your son's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Does anyone have any comments or questions regarding our agenda for the evening? Okay, then I would entertain a motion for agenda approval for the evening. I need the motion before we get the second. Okay. Motion by Rick Berger, second by Mr. Sukan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have an agenda. Did anyone have any comments or questions regarding the consent agenda? I have one comment, and I don't know if she's here to hear it, but Colleen, it looks so nice to have those buses gone out of the bus lot that were just for scrap. Thank you for your work on that, Colleen, wherever you are.
I did all that. That's great. That's very nice.
Okay. So any other comments or questions on anything on? Okay. Hearing none, the consent agenda is adopted by unanimous consent. I see we have a student representative from Minidoka.
All right, so this is actually my goodbye. So I'm passing it off tonight, but I just wanted to thank you all for giving me opportunity to talk to you these past few months. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it. I'm going to miss you guys a lot, but I've never been more excited to graduate than I am now. So I'm passing it off to Ellie, and I think she's going to do a fantastic job, and she's going to give the agenda tonight. So here she is.
Before you pass it off,
Yeah.
Tell everyone what your plans are after graduation.
Oh, okay. So my plans after graduation, I'm going to go to Utah State, and I'm going to pursue a degree in business management, and I'm going to have a minor in entrepreneurship. So I'm going to do all the house flipping and all of that fun stuff. So I'm really excited for it. So, yeah.
And I have 3 children who are Utah State graduates, 2 sons and a daughter-in-law, so go Aggies.
Go Aggies for sure.
Yes.
Oh, hi everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. I just got a little lost. So I'm Ellie, like she said. I'm gonna be the new representative, and I'm looking forward to have a great time.
What was your last name?
Contreras.
Contreras?
Contreras?
Yes. Contreras, yes. Just like that.
And normally with these, if you just put them down in front of you, you should be able to be heard without having to hold it to your mouth.
We're good?
I like
Okay, so I'm looking forward to work with all of you and just coming here and talk to you about what's going on around in Minidoka High School. So starting by the ISAT testing and senior presentations, we had our ISAT testing day and everything went as planned. Everything went good. As the senior presentations, we are sad that they're leaving, but we're excited because who knows what is it that the future has for them. For the Spring Fling Week and Teachers Appreciation, this week was we had some fun activities. However, Idaho's weather was kind of crazy. So we just had a little bit of trouble on that. However, the goal was to have fun, and we successfully accomplished it. As for teachers' appreciation, it also went great. Moving on to student elections, we're very excited to announce that we have our new student body and a student council ready to go next year. For sports, I am actually pretty excited. So our golf team made a state, so it's currently a state. Following tennis and track, they also made on a state. Our first year doing this, and our East sport team took second place at state. It was awesome. However, this event took place like 2 weeks ago, and it was over there in Boise. Uh, Unfortunately, baseball and softball, they did a great job, but we didn't make it. We lost at the very end. So, and for our seniors, they will be having a trip on Lagoon this Thursday, and that will be their last day of school. And I guess, graduations are coming up, and for the rest of us, the last day of school will be before. It will be a day before than we anticipated, so it'll be on a Wednesday. And I mean, we're looking to have an amazing summer.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Trista, you have to come say goodbye to us, by the way.
Congratulations. Welcome. Look forward to seeing you.
Loved it. Thank you.
The pattern
Madam
of
Chair.
life goes on and on. We continue to have students come and have students go, and sometimes it's really kind of sad.
Madam Chair, as Ellie mentioned, our girls' state is right now going on in golf, and I have an update. Our girls are currently after their first day leading by 7 strokes,
Woohoo!
and Dallas Shockey is currently leading overall. So
Yay!
girls are looking really good right now.
Yay! Okay, did Ms. Thompson, your students from Mount Harrison, please give your report.
They're so excited. They're just fighting over who gets to go.
I can tell. You can let your dog speak for him too.
Yeah. He did get most likely to be president in the yearbook. But,
Oh.
All right, go ahead, Justice. And this is Justice's last time, too. She's graduating
Oh. Okay.
early. All right, go ahead.
And go ahead and project. It's okay. We want to hear you.
We won't bite.
I've yet to bite anybody, right?
Can't do it. Yes, you can. All right.
Oh. I'm bitten you.
Tell them what student council's been up to, Justice.
I mean,
We've handed out treats.
oh yeah, we hand out treats like,
May the 4th be with you.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we clean up around our school, and there's trash and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. And then we're having the end of the year bash. We're gonna have a barbecue.
A little louder.
They can't hear me.
A little louder. You're good.
So we're gonna have a barbecue on the last day of school. It's May 25th. It's during school hours. We're gonna have food and drinks provided, and we're gonna have games planned out.
And parents.
Yeah,
invited.
parents and other people can come.
And the seniors that just
Oh, yeah.
graduated get to come back.
Yeah.
All right, you did it. Good job. Wait, just wait.
So, on your barbecue, did you guys cook? Or
No.
you're going to cook?
We're
I
gonna
don't cook. Oh.
You're going to help?
Yeah.
Amy Eilers has really been in charge. I mean, she has done amazing getting donations, and she has taken the helm of that. And it's going to be awesome. Even though we had to move it up a day, we forgive you. It's going to be amazing. So.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
And the school board's always invited. So
we'll see you at graduation?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. They're all so shy.
My name's Stephanie Garcia. I'm talking about the graduation. So the seniors are gonna have their presentations tomorrow, and there's also gonna be a senior field trip to was it Lagoon?
They're going to Lagoon. They're
Yeah,
going with Falls Academy from Jerome.
on
Yeah.
Thursday, right?
On Thursday.
On Thursday, this Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Graduation is on the 24th at Minico. There could be 39 or 15 um graduating, sorry. The white cord goes to the first generation. Summer school. So summer school is on June the 6th at West. Um, out Summer school gets out on July the 9th. No school on July the 4th. 5 weeks of summer school. The first half functional school students can get 1 credit, and the second is traditional classes.
They're doing sorry, I'm not on student council, but so they're doing something really cool this year, and it's really going to benefit, like, our school. We've had credit recovery for a long time, and the kids have a chance if they have a 45% on their in their classes, they have a chance to earn that credit instead of having to retake the class. So this year for summer school, they're going to have the opportunity, so even the kids from Minico will have the opportunity to earn those credits without having to retake the classes, as long as they have a 45% or higher on the class. So it's a amazing opportunity for them to be able to earn those credits without having to retake that. And that's going to be the first session of summer school, and then the second session will just be traditional classes that they haven't taken before. So it's actually an amazing opportunity for these kids to not have, and for us to, for them not to have to sit through the exact same class again, you know, and that's attendance wise too. So if they went over on their attendance, they can earn the credits. So it's awesome. All right, Cole, you're up.
Hi, I'm Cole Page, and this year we did ISTATs about a month or two ago, and everyone got completed. There's about 95% or higher of participation in it. We also tested the ninth grade, and we normally only test the 10th and 11th grade. And yeah, that's what we did for the ISTATs this year. And we're getting our yearbooks at the end of the year, and then we're gonna be able to like sign it and everything. And if you or at the end of the year bash, and uh, if you go on to like the site, you can order them online and customize like your pages if you like. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys.
Well, thank you for bringing your three young people and for the report that you gave us as well. It's one of the highlights of the meeting every time. And we have some good news reports from West Minico tonight. Mr. Kniep.
Okay, can you guys hear me all right? Madam Chair, School Board, Mr. Ramsey, our wonderful patrons at Minidoka School District, I want to thank you for having me here tonight. I want to talk a little bit about some of the great things that we've done at West Minico Middle School. We've created some different programs, brought in some more resources, and I'm going to share those with you tonight. So some highlights. Our detentions and disciplines have continued to drop considerably. We're working on interventions throughout the school year. We received a $10,000 grant geared towards building a community school where all needs of students and families are met through community partnerships. And tomorrow, my school counselor is going to be going to American Falls. This is a unique opportunity where she's going to go in and see okay, from a school's perspective, these are the outside resources that we're bringing in: doctors, dentists, eye care help. We're starting to grow a little bit in this area. Primarily, we worked with West End, which I'll discuss later on, but ultimately, we want to create something that is not just a need for students, but our community as a whole, because ultimately, the school is the heart of each and every community. This year, we did something a little different, which was cool. Going back to that community partnership, we were able to bring in West End Fire. We thank you, Mr. Fairchild, for spearheading this. He went around and went to some of our local vendors, found donations, hot dogs, chips, waters, and we were able to implement a celebration barbecue for the ISATs. Students rewarded for their efforts. This would not have been possible without our generosity of our great families, our great community, and I just want to thank everyone that's been involved. Just some of them that's been involved. We've had Dot Foods, Falls Brand Meat, and we've had several parents that came in and helped facilitate, guide us through this, as well as bring in chips, etc. So without our community, it just wouldn't have worked. Another highlight, I mentioned this in the fall, we started a parent-teacher organization, and I just want to say that I'm very thankful. They've really picked up the ball and went running with it. They brought in financial support. They purchased a functioning football scoreboard and a new sound system for the auditorium. We feel that this is huge. The current sound system that we recently had removed, it was kind of something that Fred Flintstone probably would have used. So this is definitely a good thing. The PTO has sponsored incentive parties for students with good grades. So one of the things that we did is through semesters and quarters alike, we took the kids with the higher grade point averages and we rewarded them by front loading them ahead of time of this is the reward you're going to get. We did a root beer float deal. We did a popcorn deal, and we've done a bunch of other things. So it's just starting to slowly pick up. Our employees of the year, Ruby Orozco and Mrs. Michelle Canop. I can't tell you just how appreciative I am of the great staff that we have at West Minico. We've got some pictures from what we've got going on with sports. We had an update from our track coach, Mr. Madrigal. Very successful season. Athletes worked hard. Some of our season's outstanding performances included the 8th grade throws, competing at a high level, and taking home several awards from the district track meet. Our jumpers also found a great deal of success, highlighted by our 7th grade district champion high jumper. Our runners found ways to improve their times every week. This has been a great spring full of improvements. And I'll share this with you guys when I get back to my seat. But as you can see here, I listed the kids that have performed real well throughout the year and at the district track meet. Our music department, it's been a huge success this year. They put on a lot of performances for the community, including this video here. Mr. Dilworth did a couple concerts this spring, and the volume's not working. Okay. So, like I said, I'll share that. Whoops. Maybe. There we go. We've done a lot with staff. One of the things that we did was the staff versus the students basketball game. This wasn't me that put this picture in here. I'm just front loading you now. This was actually a team effort putting this presentation together. But let me tell you something. Every year is a little bit depressing when I do this, just because I realize I'm that out of shape compared to what I was here 10 years ago when I was in college. It's fun to watch the kids grow and develop, though. It's been amazing. Just some of our students enjoying some good activities, having fun. This is what Mrs. Giroux has done in some of her art classes. I went in there. They've done a huge variety of different projects that I've thought's really cool. And currently, they've been working on pottery and clay. Kids are having fun. This is our facts class. They made sock monkeys earlier this year. And this is one of our science classes where they made a little roller coaster and they talked about speed, inertia, and performed some various experiments. One of the great highlights at West Minico Middle School is we have Mrs. Milliron. She works very hard to bring in technology into the classroom. She takes the classroom outside, throughout the building, works incredibly hard to create various scenarios for kids to participate in. Tonight, we're going to be lucky to have some of her students come up here and give a small presentation on some of the things they've done. But this is a focus on her STEM and drones class. It's been a lot of fun watching these guys. They use little Spiros. They've gone around the school with them. They've set up mazes using coding procedures. I'm not a tech guy, so I'm sure they'd be able to explain it better, but it's been real fun to watch this opportunity for the kids. Another cool thing is that her and Mrs. Manning worked together for a Spark class. This is an opportunity where you take some of your general education students, pair them with those students that need a little bit more help, and these guys are able to provide a leadership role and work together with these other students as a team. It's a very unique situation where kids are able to develop those speaking skills, the leadership capability, the ability to problem solve, but collaborate together as a team. And this is just, we brought on Mr. Jason Lovelace. He's one of our social studies teachers. He was a veteran, and he's been able to bring back some vets throughout the year that have come in and discussed for the kids, providing some of their unique experiences that they've seen abroad. Again, back to the PTO. We did a fundraiser this fall. We let people dunk the principals. It was a cold day, not very much fun, but nonetheless, we ended up bringing in over $10,000 in the process. So that was awesome. That's okay. I'll do it. Oops. Okay. I'd like to invite Mrs. Milliron and her students up here to visit a little bit about their Roads on Icy Worlds Challenge after school program. Thanks, guys.
We're not going to introduce ourselves. So, I'm Andrew Ashcraft.
I'm Aiden Hunter.
I'm Monica DeBose.
I'm Tiana Free.
I'm Wesley Myers. I'm Clark Dick.
We are all members of the Roads on Icy Worlds Challenge. NASA and NESB provided it for us, and yeah, we did. We started it in January, and it ended in April. We worked on it for like about 70 hours around there. We came in on Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays. So we Aiden came in on Aiden came over to my house sometimes to work on our rover on Fridays and Saturdays when we didn't have school. We stayed up till 10:30 one night working on it. Finally finish it because we needed to code it because we didn't have it all coded. And then I gave it to Nautica.
Okay, so wait, do I explain what it is?
Yeah, just say it.
Oh, well, we had these things called checkpoint challenges, and there was 10 of them. They were all online. There was a lot of physical challenges too.
Like we did. The rovers.
The map, like we had this map that we had to set up that was really hard to do. Oh, and then these are all of our MDLs that we did. Do I have to click on them? And we also took first on our first checkpoint, and we used to experiment. We also took the top 5, right? We also took the top 5 in our mission development log for Yeast ID card. And
Okay.
Aiden, wait. Aiden, wait. It's fine.
Okay, so while we were developing our rover, we had a lot of different prototypes. The first one was like it resembled a backwards tricycle. Basically, it had a big wheel in the back and then two turning wheels in the front. And then that developed into it had kind of a barrier that a wheel would turn it into a carrying area. And then now it has this contraption that we took our inspiration from a combine header, where it has the spinning thing on the front that funnels it into a ramp into the carrying. Some of the good things about our rover, the best qualities, is that it can actually pick things up. Some of our competitors actually just push them around. It can do a 0-degree turn, and it uses less wheels, so it has more motors to use for its contraption to pick things up. But some of the cons about it is that sometimes the samples that we try to pick up with it got stuck in the picking up contraption, and it's a lot tougher to code because it only has two wheel motors. Okay, so the samples, at first it was just a small ball about the size of a ping pong ball with a flattened bottom but that turned into Dwayne the Rock Johnson heads. Uh, because our team just kind of has a general liking for The Rock, so we decided to use that as our samples. And it's okay. And our rover's name is Dwayne, and our drone's name is Johnson. And then here's a demonstration of it just kind of funnels it into that area there.
Okay, so some of the struggles that we had with everything was the coding. So the coding on our iPad it kept on getting messed up. We don't know how. We think that sometimes 2 people would work on it, but then 2 other people would work on it. So that might have messed it up with having other people work on it. Another one was the yeast ID card that we used. The pH paper was low quality, so we didn't really know like the colors when we dipped it into the water. Another one was so we had to make a miniature rover so that the drone could land it on a circle, and the miniature rover, it was too heavy, so we had to 3D print it again, and then when we 3D printed it again, it was too heavy again, so we just scraped some of it out of the bottom of the rover, and yeah.
Okay, so for the rover with picking up the rock heads, so we actually had to restart the coding twice, and we had to pick up 5 of those rock heads and return them to where we started. And we had this giant 8 feet by 5 feet map, which had like barriers, and it had points where we picked up the samples and landing spots to land the rover, and then we would go around, pick up the samples, and come back to where we started.
I wish that we had rehearsed that more. So I'm really glad that I got to work with all of these amazing people, because even though overall it was pretty frustrating, it was still really fun to work with other people and to learn about science and space and coding. And it was also really great to have Mr. Milliron coaching us. And so the prize for winning the national contest is to go and see a NASA launch in Florida. And currently, they are selecting the finalists on Wednesday, I think, and after that, they should announce the finals sometime next week, I think. So, yeah, we're really glad that we got to do this, and thank you.
How many did you have to compete against?
It's kind of just all around the nation, I think. Like, so high schoolers go with high schoolers. Millard. 50?
Millard's saying
50 schools?
50?
So, but high schoolers compete with high schoolers, middle school with middle school, and upper elementary.
Like 4th and 5th grade compete with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the high schools, they had different challenges. Like, they had extra challenges. We asked if we could do them, and they said, you don't need to.
They won't even give us extra points.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. I'd want those extra points too to get, yeah, all right. And out of those 50, then, right, Mrs. Milliron, you guys received this.
We got first on one of our checkpoint challenges, like designing the map, I believe, and then with the yeast, we got top 5 out of everybody.
Whoa.
So we're doing pretty good.
That's awesome. Yay, guys.
Well, Mrs. Milliron, when you know the results, can you send them to us, please?
Well,
but we don't get to see it move. We don't get to see it move. Oh well.
The lights were going off.
Can you make it move out here?
On the floor?
Can you make it move?
The title for our code was Plan B, I Hate Coding, towards the end, because
Plan B, I hate coding. That's good.
we were having a fun time coding.
It's rocking.
We had Burley, they printed off a really big picture of what your rover looks like. And it didn't get charged, so it probably died.
The final video?
We have a final video, but it's 8 minutes long. Just skip.
Do you guys want to see the bloopers?
No.
We can show you guys the bloopers.
Don't do that, please. I love it. That is amazing, you guys.
Here, Wesley.
Let me pass on to you. That is amazing.
Skip.
Wait, they're reading it. Let them read this.
Go.
So this is us talking about our mission objectives that we did for the drone, and here is our video of us picking up our drone doing the.
We actually had 8 members on our team, but 2 of them couldn't make it tonight.
9, including Miss Melanie.
Avery, she designed the patch that we made for our shirts.
Cool.
Here's the map.
We had to take it to a point of interest first, so we had it drive to a point of interest, and then after that video, we had it go through our whole program.
So we get a rock head.
In our blooper, it started to fall apart and it exploded pretty much.
I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. I don't know.
Very cool.
That is awesome. Russ, I think you have a new piece of machinery.
Rock
She kept
picker
recording.
version.
She wasn't
That's great.
She wasn't supposed to, but she just kept on. I guess
That is really wow.
Very cool. And then there's that.
Yeah, this is where it explodes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Houston,
And then
we have a problem.
That's one of our other members.
Okay.
Again, we want to thank you for bringing your project. Congratulations on all that you've accomplished. And it's really fun to get to see your students in action, Miss Milliron. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. Is that all, Mr. Keep?
Yes. Just go Warriors. And the last thing I want to say is I feel like I'm blessed to have great parents to work with. I know for a fact the kids are, but also equally important is the staff at West Minico Middle School. Thank you for everything you guys have done for us. Thanks for what you do for kids.
Thank you. Any questions, any comments other than that was fun?
That was awesome.
Just wondering where the $10,000 grant came from. Who did you receive that from? The first thing you had a $10,000 grant. Who did you get?
Community thing, Idaho School Community grant.
It's new.
Cool. Very cool. Okay. We have 2 parent patron comments that were turned in tonight. If you may, Miss Bateman, how long will you have 3 minutes, whichever one is speaking. There you are. Let's go ahead and do yours first, and then we'll do this other one, okay? Talks about the school district website. Are we in trouble? Oh, okay.
I would just like to address Madam Chair and the board members. Thank you for letting me be here today, and thank you for your time. I would like to request that some information be put on the website. It would be really helpful for everyone to see your election information. For example, the Planning and Zoning and the Fair Board websites state the year of election and the term of expiration for the board members, and the Cajun County School Board also lists the term end for each person. And listing the term expiration would just be a really valuable addition to your website. Thank you for all you do for the community and for all of your guys' help. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So you're just requesting the election information about the school board positions be put on the website. I want to make sure I'm getting this correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will pass that on. Okay. Josh Walton has requested to talk to us about expansion of the ag program and the number of students. So, Mr. Walton, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for your time this evening. I'm new to this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was elected president a month ago, I think. So, wanted
what?
to get involved in
Elected president of what?
of the Ag Advisory Committee.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. New and nervous, so you can't hardly read the numbers. Rick did this. Rick called earlier today and said they got the new numbers for enrollment for next school year. And as you can see from that, Rick will share that with you individually. The ag program has increased dramatically over the last couple of years. Currently, there's 962 pre-registered students indicating ag as their first choice. That's roughly 49 classrooms. Currently, we have 3 teachers that can truly accommodate 36 classes is all. So there's 13 that will have to drop or not offer, which is roughly 250 students that have to be turned away. Our ag students and classes contribute to the students. There's 350 students that are pre-registered for ag classes to meet a science credit requirement. 30 students or 1 full classroom will take an ag class to meet the economics requirement for graduation, and almost 50 students will take an ag class to meet their speech or communication requirement. So the current limitations we have to cut 13 sections or 11 if Mrs. Stapleman teaches during her prep hour again. Included in this is an equine science, an ag biology, intro to agriculture, 1 section of greenhouse management, 1 section of welding, 3 and 5 sections of welding 1. It's a significant amount of classes. And the ag biology is what did you say? Can be taken as a requirement. Yeah, it's a required class. I'm still learning. Excuse my ignorance, please. But there is a need. We're here today just to kind of maybe start the ball rolling for another teacher. An extra teacher, a 4th teacher would help get us another 12 classes. It wouldn't cover all of them, but we really do need to get the ball rolling so that we can get a highly qualified ag teacher and FFA advisor sooner than later. We really need the help. The program is just growing leaps and bounds, and we just don't have enough teachers to service all these students like we need to. Hate turning kids away from agriculture. It's really nice to see the interest in our ag program. So, any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them, but hopefully there's somebody in the audience between the 2 ag teachers that are here that'll do better than I.
Okay. I guess my first questions are for Mrs. Kidd and possibly Ms. Cotman and Mr. Merrill. Do you know how many students are graduating this year, and do you know how many are coming into the school? And this question regards FTE for the coming year. How many new freshmen there are going to be and all? 208? 8, okay. So you're going to have 100 more kids. Okay.
There are 385 eighth graders in the district right now. And we have 243 students now, including all schools. So this incoming freshman is the biggest group we have.
Okay. All right.
So that like a bubble? 7th grade, is it coming back down to something more manageable?
They're still big. 363. Drop off to 4th grade.
Okay. So, with the requirements that are there now, I know we have science requirements which can be met by this, as well as the speech part and economics. Sorry, excuse me. With how many FTEs do you have for next year? That's all you have. An increase.
That we talked about that last time.
Yeah.
And I have a plan for the 0.5 because we're short elective classes as well. So I have an opportunity to use the 0.5 to increase some opportunities for students with elective courses. But Mr. Ramsey and I have talked about this for a couple years, and we anticipated the ag program growing, but I figured we had another year. I didn't see that it was going to hit like it is now. But because of the programs that are offered in our ag department, and because of the teachers we have in our ag department, it has like
exploded.
And that was the thing, is they came to me and said, we have to drop 12 sections. What do you suggest we drop first? And I can't make that call because I'm kind of in the same boat. I depend on them to tell me what they need.
Okay, so Mr. Stimson, are you ready to address some parts of this as well?
I can. I mean, one of our biggest fears with it is the required classes that we're going to have to drop because we just can't teach them. Your biology and your speech and economic classes. Those kids still have to have those credits, so it's just going to overload our science and our English department, which are already. So instead of us being able to help those departments and lighten that load a little bit, we're just going to have to add to it this year because those are the classes we have. That's and probably the biggest fear with this is there's 14 positions open for ag in the state of Iowa this year. And so to get a highly qualified teacher, which is what we have to have, or else it doesn't help us if we can't teach the science and the economics anyway. So that's kind of why I know this was all rushed and put together today, but we got these numbers over the weekend, and so Mrs. Evans and Ms. Stapleton and myself met, and we trying to figure out what we're going to do to accommodate that. So it's all pretty fast, but if we waited till the next board meeting at the end of June, it's probably too late to get a highly qualified teacher because we're in position that's open. So it's something that we feel like probably need to move on.
If there was another person, is there space?
Yes, we have one. We have a small room.
And curriculum and furniture and.
Yes, but it's tight. It's going to be, yes.
Is it out there in the little room out there?
So Mrs. Evans teaches now.
Yeah.
Currently, each 33 kids in that classroom. It's doable.
Yeah.
Only 33.
Mr. Ramsey, do you have any thoughts on what we could do?
I'm not sure I would qualify. I don't have the caliber of experience as your crew. I would like to visit with Miss Kidd and maybe a couple of the ag teachers and try to come up with a strategy. If you've got 900 students that want to be a part of this, I think you need to nurture that interest and keep it going. But I don't want to do it interest drops down to 600, and then we have to send somebody packing.
Is there any chance those FTEs will increase by fall? Is there any chance your FTEs will increase by fall, do you think, on your enrollment? Probably not.
Yes, but we usually don't have a count until mid-September, a final, like something we can really wrap our heads around. Registration always gives us 25 to 30 new students, but we also have a flux of students that leave. But we do have, like the groups that are coming are like, just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So we do, but then the chances of being able to hire someone mid-September.
That's the problem. Is I'm wondering. This is just a thought, but is this something? I mean, this is obviously if they're considering hiring someone, now is probably the time as opposed to fall.
The talent pool is much deeper at this time of the year.
If they thought the FTEs were going to increase, could you borrow out a contingency until fall, or I don't know how all that works.
So one of the experiences that we've had so far is in the elementaries and junior high, I think the parents that are moving here don't move their kids the high school kids till the summer. They're not going to take them out of their schools when they're young, or when they're in high school. They'll take them out when they're young. So I anticipate, just like last year, we weren't expecting influx of kids, which we had, and I'm guessing this year with all the development that's going on, I cannot foresee those numbers going down, but continue to rise as people come in.
Yeah, I realize it's kind of a moving target all the time, but how full are your science and biology classes already? Your general classes? I mean, if these kids get shifted to those, is that going to create a burden?
Yes.
There.
Well, that's the problem is in our English department, our speech teacher, she has to teach 2 sections of English because we do not have room. So she has agreed to pick up two Englishes. In that, she asked, can the ag department please pick up their speech for ag speech? And they can, but that takes 2 sections of something else, either the equine science or the welding. It takes, so in essence, what we're doing is robbing Peter to pay Paul because we are getting fuller and fuller. They asked Candace Gardner, who was a previous ag teacher, if she could pick up a couple of the ag classes, and she can't. Her schedule is full next year, so she can't do that. And they did their homework before they came to me, because that was my question to them: is can you do the ag speech? And we were super fortunate. We had an excellent candidate for Lexi's position. As soon as we posted it, she applied. We interviewed her. She is going to be dynamic and fantastic, and we will miss Lexi, but I think we've got a close replacement. I think they're 2 peas in a pod. I agree. She can do the ag speech, but that takes 2 sections of something else out that she can't teach. So part of the growth also is our 8th grade ag classes. That really gets them excited about coming in to be part of the programs.
How was this year's numbers on 8th graders compared to last year's? Is it continuing to grow?
They definitely are. They tried to send me 35, and I said I got 33 seats, send them over. So I was fortunate enough to get some new seating in the middle of the school year and accommodate for that. But when Miss Stapleman taught it first semester, I think we had 35, maybe even 36.
I think she was at 40.
Was she at 40? Oh, 40. So
I think there were 70 total, right?
I believe
about
roughly.
73. Yeah. She had 33 and Miss Stapleman had 40.
I don't begin to understand any of this. I'll be flat honest. If you were to hire an ag teacher and the numbers declined, it sounds to me like from the outside looking in that you could move them into a general teaching or have them pick up, a speech class or a biology or whatever. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what the ag teacher that we hired. Fortunately, she has the certification to do the speech.
Great.
She can do it.
Okay. And we talked, if we have to, it's probably those middle school intro classes that probably get left out, and we had the ones that meet you at the high school, but they help us, but that really does, that creates a burden because the middle schools already are looking for electives. So they're gonna lose another elective that we're able to accommodate, and it really is, that's a big part of our program right now, so it's just, it's a problem, it's a great problem.
Yeah.
It's a great problem
It's a
to
great
have,
problem.
so.
So forgive my ignorance. This might even be an option, but have we looked at, like, I know teachers are coming out looking for student teaching options. Is that even an option that could help bridge the gap for a little while? Does that?
That's just a Band-Aid. A student teacher's just
They're only there for
a short amount of 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks. Okay.
6 to 12.
Yeah.
And when we hired our new gal to come in, she's a Fruitland girl, but all of her advisors said Minidoka is the place to be. So she was so excited that we hired her. She said that your program is well known in the whole state. Yeah. So
And I called her
this
now.
is a nice time. Yeah.
She said 1,000 times yes. She was so excited. So. And she's traveling with them in June. She's going to go to a competition and everything with them in June.
She's already involved, she already is on our text messaging with our officers. It's good.
I'm just gonna ask this question because I don't know. So a lot of these kids that do like the FFA and all of that, are they in the 4-H and stuff? They get the younger group, or are they in that too?
They
Does that help feed? That's what I'm asking.
So
Do they
most
help
of them,
feed?
the kids are doing projects at the fair. Obviously, they can't do FFA until their 8th grade year, going into the 9th grade.
Okay, but
So,
they show like
so a lot of them
house
show their
and all
animals and
that?
do those kind of things,
Okay,
but
yeah.
it's a lot different.
But it doesn't that start what they want to do when they get into the 8th grade, and does that interest?
Yeah,
it's out?
it's an interest, absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing from some 4-H mothers or parents or whatever, that they're full. They're getting full and they're looking for more
Leaders.
leaders.
Yeah.
So if that's any indication of what's coming,
well, we've had
we're in
2.
trouble.
Last year we had record numbers in fair, and Rick said we got even more this year.
We have 80, and the most we've ever done is about 40. So we doubled this year in FFA fair budget.
Okay.
So.
Not only that, but the FFA record books are much easier to do than the 4-H ones.
I was just curious.
As a mom, I can tell you that.
I was just
Not wrong.
curious if I was getting the right information.
in our classroom, the
Yeah, they
teacher.
are.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
Mr. Ramsey, I believe, has a recommendation.
Madam Chair, let me get some volunteers for a committee. We can meet and discuss the possible scenarios for this FFA Ag program, and I will bring them to you in a special meeting, and you can act on it one way or the other.
sounds great. I mean, we're in an ag community,
I
and
need
if you have
Mr. Stimson is a volunteer for that committee. Ms. Kidd, volunteer for that committee.
Voluntarily being asked.
but I think
Voluntold.
these
They're the
advisors
stakeholders.
and Mrs. Kidd too have done a great job in building this program.
Well, when he said 900 to me, I thought, holy moly.
That's
There's
That's
no
what
way
I
that's
said.
going to
We
work.
were not anticipating this till next year. We did not see this coming. And that's what I've told you is we're this close to needing another ag teacher. We're there. We went over.
So you misled me on timeline.
I did not see it coming until they came to me and said these are our numbers.
Her
That's
crystal
unbelievable.
ball didn't work this time. So, okay, I think that's a great idea, Mr.
I
Ramsey. You
will
just let us
text you
know,
with information when we want to visit.
and then we can see when we need to call it. And we have graduation coming up, things like that. We can have a meeting, special meeting at something coming up here. Okay. You're welcome, and thank you.
For the info.
Yeah, thank you. Could you pass these down to Mrs. Kid, the Tibbetts? Thank you, and for your attendance and everything you've done to build this program. Amazing.
Those hamburgers you picked for July.
All right. Did anyone have any comments or questions on the discussion items, the administrator, committee reports? You have any comments or questions on any of those?
Was it kind of nice to see the transportation report and the cleaning up of the
Yes.
the transportation lot
Absolutely.
over there? So sounds like things are happening.
Okay. Did anyone have any? No other comments or questions on that? Did anyone have any comments or questions about this policy, employee recognition and procedure? That came before that for just review.
Yeah, we are seeking your input on how we can simplify the process and the procedure. It has a tendency to be really cumbersome for those who are being nominated or nominating people, and so they're looking for some ways to simplify that policy and procedure. And any recommendations that you have, our thought discussion at policy review the other day was to have a committee of people talk about it, look at it, see if they want to do anything, if they can figure out any ways to simplify that. And so any recommendations you guys have in terms of what that committee looks like, what the procedure looks like, we are open to any suggestions or ideas that would help.
Okay, I didn't realize that's what you were wanting, but I continue to look at that and think that, we have all the schools. Then we have Mount Harrison grouped with JDC and everything like that. And the years I've been on the board, no person from Mount Harrison has ever been given the teacher of the year or any kind of award for that. And to me, whether it's at the junior high level or the other level, is that they're still schools, but they're not really considered schools.
So I know that Mount Harrison Junior High is going to be a separate entity. It's no longer going to be Mount Harrison Junior Senior High for next year. So we'd also want to take that into consideration as how we do that.
Ms. Fortner, have you heard anything from your school?
We very much want to be out at all the schools when it comes to the teacher of the year stuff. We're certified class already, we just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
Which of you wants to go with me? Can I ask Diane? Diane, you want to say what you're looking to do right now? You're ready to be our liaison?
She's going to be.
For recognition.
Recognition.
Sorry, because I'm over that, so I just have to know.
I know. And I realize you're the one that kind of spearheads everything.
So you're looking for volunteers?
I am looking for a board member to be on that.
Well, I'm new and I don't know anything, so I'll volunteer. How's that?
Excellent. Great.
I was going to volunteer, but I'm glad you did.
Okay.
Nobody else did. That works.
I will be reaching out to you in the next
I'm sure you will.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Ramsey on his superintendent report?
Best day, delivering cookies. Worst day, negotiations.
How many of you have your phones blowing up with text messages to vote for so and so? Am I the only one getting that right now? It just keeps going. Anyway.
I'm so ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
And I get to work it tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm just tired of my phone going off.
Tomorrow.
Anyway, Minidoka credit recovery proposal. We were introduced to some of this last month, and then we have more information given to us tonight. So does anybody have any other comments or questions regarding their proposal?
I don't think so. You don't have any more information about it.
I think
Wanted to make a few changes there and some adjustments in our credit recovery options that are a little more suited for students school or our students to join into some of that as well. So we've got multiple options for them. So IDLA option, summer school, retake classes live at Minidoka with teachers, and then Mount Harrison's through recovery course.
So if the Minico students choose to go to the Mount Harrison, do they have to get their own transportation then for that 4 to 5 o'clock hour? Okay, thought that would be the case, but
yeah, because it's after school.
Right.
I kind of wondered about that.
Yeah.
Too.
And Mount Harrison students who take advantage of it, they also have to have their own transportation.
Okay. All right. So, any other comments or questions on that?
Cool, that was just a 1 hour block where they could do that in. So
That's through summer school. Yeah, through
right.
that summer school. They have the 2 days. But they have to have that certain percentage of passing too. So it gives them a little incentive to, let's stick with this. Let's get to that 45% passing so when we get you to summer school to take those classes in that block.
Sure.
And I think our families and students are liking this because I just got a preliminary number yesterday of 189 kids signed up for secondary summer school.
Oh, wow.
I was pretty excited.
Wow.
I've got to verify what we know, but it's in that 150 to 200 range, so they're liking it, and it's early. They normally are down at the Hail Marys, as Maggie puts it. We usually get a flood at the end.
Seems like all the numbers we've been hearing lately on a lot of things.
Yep.
We're pretty excited that they're excited about that program.
You got nothing?
We got no lights.
No lights,
No
okay.
lights.
Because I can barely hear you, much less I'm sure them. So
Probably not worth hearing.
yeah. Yes.
Our biggest thing with credit recovery is FAs. They pass the class, but they go over their days.
Yeah.
So this gives them the opportunity to go and get that taken care of without retaking the entire
course. Yeah.
That might change with next year's policy.
Yeah, it may.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Any other comments? That moves us to the business items. And so the first one is in the Minico credit recovery proposal. We just need to know if the board is willing to go ahead and pass this and approve it and go on record as saying, yes, go for it.
Do you have any other thoughts on it, Mr. Ramsey?
I'm all for it, sir.
Okay. Well, I trust the opinion of our administrators.
Mrs. Kidd has put a lot of thought into this and came up with several options as far as meeting that child's need as opposed to just edgenuity. We're giving them more options, so I think we're doing our part as the educators.
I had one question. Do you track the students after they've had credit recovery and see how many of them go on to additional education, go on to college? Any idea? I'm just curious. Where you're helping, I think it's a great deal to help them out and get those credits. I'm just curious, is it enough of a boost to get them to go on to some additional training and education?
To just graduate or to
Right.
move
Just
on to
curious, we're coming that far with them. If we help them out,
That's the last one I got.
graduate.
I understand that.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
One step at a time.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a great idea for us to track that to see if giving them the opportunity to regain those credits and get them graduated, if that helps them to make
Yeah.
Well, that would definitely be like the icing on the cake.
I would think that would be a real boost to them to encourage them to move on.
Have something,
I was
Mike?
just going to say, the credit recovery program that we're currently using at Mount Harrison, that the Minico is starting to use too. I mean, it's brand new. We just started it last year, so we haven't had an opportunity to do any of that training, but we absolutely could. I do know that when we were using Edgenuity, the success rate was very low. Very low. The kids needed Edgenuity.
Yeah.
And it was just right with cheating and
Sounds like this is what's best for kids. So
The first time I heard about it, I thought, what a great idea it is for these kids. And so,
that's a great idea. That's
but I was,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, Madam Chair, I make the motion that we approve the Minico credit recovery proposal. Sorry.
Okay, motion by Mr. Sukan to approve the credit recovery proposal, second by Mrs. Anderson.
Certainly second it, yes.
Any other comments or questions? Then I would call for vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Also, we have before us the approval of Mount Harrison's change of their parent-teacher conferences for the 22-23 school year. There was a letter of explanation within our board packet. Did anyone have any questions or want to ask Ms. Fortner any questions about for clarification or anything? The only thing I noticed is making up hours at other times.
Yeah, so what happens is Minico actually ends up, their teachers actually end up spending more time at parent-teacher conferences than ours do. And so typically what we've done is we just haven't let our teachers have that other time off, because they haven't traded the hours. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But my proposal is to let them still get that time off, but instead they would chaperone either homecoming or prom. But one of the issues we've had in the past, we go to homecoming and prom with Minico, and we are typically pretty low on chaperones. And the more chaperones we have, the less likely there is to be a problem. This year at prom, we had a lot of chaperones, and I think it went off beautifully. I don't know, Kim, what do you think? Yeah. And I just want to encourage more teachers to chaperone it. With the exception of more issues.
I'm oblivious. I have no
Yeah,
idea
I
what
don't
this
know.
is.
You guys didn't hear about it, you're good. You're good.
Ignorance is bliss, I guess.
I think this was a record attended prom, actually, compared to what we've had in the past. We had record numbers in attendance, it was good. And we did have a good showing of both, Mount Harrison chaperones and Minico chaperones. So it was nice because, we had two situations where, guest forms were not filled out. One was from Mount Harrison, one was from Minico, and so they took care of theirs and I took care of mine. It was good.
So it worked really well, but it doesn't work great when it's just me. And it's a little incentive for the teachers by having that Friday time off that the Minico teachers also have.
Okay. I guess that makes sense now. I definitely understand it better. Does anyone else have any comments or questions regarding this proposal? I think it's a great idea to showcase the students instead of say, "Oh, this is where you're failing," or "This is what you need to be doing." And let's encourage the kids, not
let's brag them up.
Yeah.
Most of our kids have had negative experiences with parent-teacher conferences, and most of their parents have had negative experiences. So we kind of want to flip the script on them.
Okay.
And see if we need more participation.
Okay.
Sure.
Sounds wonderful.
I think that'd be good.
All right, what is the pleasure of the board? Would anyone be willing to make a motion for approval of Mount Harrison's change of parent-teacher conferences for the 22-23 school year?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I'll actually let you get by with that since I said that.
Yes.
Motion by Mrs. Anderson,
Second.
second by Mr. Sukan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Did anyone have any comments or questions on any of the policies that we have before us for discussion, looking at them, whatever needs to happen? Because we could, if we wanted to, unless you have an objection, pass all of them tonight. Even though some of them are first readings, they are.
Is there any comments or anything on any of them?
And Ms. Woodmeyer, she passed these all by people now.
So, we're good? Okay. So, okay. Now I would entertain a motion for passage of policy D240.00 instructional materials selection, D250.20 library materials, D342.20 student drug, alcohol, and tobacco, policy D267.00 extended learning opportunities, policy D585.00 whistleblower and retaliation, policy D587.00 rehiring teachers and administrators, policy 950.10 safety management programs, fire drills, and evacuation plans. We're going to be digging those children out of the schools. Evacuation plans. Anyone willing to make that motion?
Chair, I move that we accept the policies as read.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Second by Mr. Sukan. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. With that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Sukan.
Second.
Second by Mr. Perez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are opposed.